A cool breeze swept through bare branches, stirring up scattered fallen leaves, a scene both quiet and tender. Penglaiwen was accustomed to spending the waning hours of the day reading by the window in his study. He was a quiet soul, reserved and gentle, who disliked clamour and lived a life full of understated restraint. That was until Toke burst into his world like a beam of light, passionate yet tender, illuminating his unchanging days. Toke was his polar opposite, bright, spirited, and open-hearted with everyone. Yet, when facing Penglaiwen, a unique tenderness and careful hesitation would linger in his eyes, a special dynamic known only to the two of them. That evening, a light drizzle began to fall outside. The sky darkened quickly, and the room grew dim. Just as Penglaiwen raised his hand to switch on the light, the door opened softly, and Toke walked in, carrying a cool, damp scent of the rain.
I saw that the lights were off, and worried that you were sitting in the dark, lost in thought again.
Shutting the half-opened pane that was letting in the draught, Toke closed the door behind him and walked to the window. The fine rain tapped against the glass, creating a soft, pattering sound. The room was so quiet that only the faint, steady sound of their breathing could be heard. Penglaiwen closed his box and looked up. As the light slowly came on, a warm golden glow fell across Toke's face, sharpening his sharp, defined features. Feelings long buried deep within Penglaiwen's heart began to stir. He had always kept his affection well hidden, restrained and guarded, never daring to reveal even a fraction of it. He feared shattering the peace of the moment. He feared that this precious companionship might vanish in an instant. Toke turned around, his gaze rested steadily on Penglaiwen. He had long since seen through the other man's reserve and timidity, and had come to understand the surging love within his own heart. Long-standing efforts to draw closer and the careful, constant companionship were never mere whims.
Penglaiwen,
Toke spoke softly, his voice gentle enough to pierce through the sound of the rain.
you've never been alone.
He stepped closer and came to a halt right in front of Penglaiwen, his gaze sincere and ardent.
Every time I get close to you, it's never by chance. It's because I willingly chose to, because I've been deliberately planning it all along.
This straightforward confession shattered the long-held ambiguity and silence between them. Penglaiwen's heart gave a sudden jolt. The apprehension and unease he had harbored for so long dissolved completely. It turned out that the secret love he had nurtured over the years was never a one-sided fantasy. Those dusk spent walking side by side, that silent companionship, those subtle acts of favoritism, they had all been a mutual journey toward one another. He looked up at the man before him, his eyes welling with a faint mist, and softly replied,
Me too.
Those two simple words carried all the unspoken affection and joy he had held inside. Toke leaned down and gently embraced him. The tender embrace was solid and warm, shutting out the wind and rain and chill from outside the window. With the gentle twilight and the soft, drizzling rain, no scenery in the world could compare to the person beside him. In the days and years to come, through the long autumn light and the gentle evening breeze, Toke would forever be a part of Penglaiwen's world. Outside, the rain continued to fall, its pattering sound enveloping the enclosed room, while a gentle warmth lingered between their bodies. Resting in Toke's arms, Penglaiwen felt the nerves that had been taut for years finally relax completely. The crisp, clean scent surrounding him brought a profound sense of peace. He believed this was the gentle conclusion to their story, the perfect ending to a mutual secret love, unaware that beneath Toke's gentle exterior lay a possessiveness restrained for years that bordered on the obsessive. Toke's arm wrapped gently around Penglaiwen's waist, yet his fingertips dug in hard, clamping firmly onto the other's slender back, and leaving absolutely no room to retreat. The tender, lingering warmth that had filled Toke's eyes moments ago vanished, replaced by a heavy, murky darkness, thick and oppressive, like a viscous fluid seeping through everything. Penglaiwen keenly sensed the shift. His heart tightened instantly, and he instinctively tried to push the other man away.
Toke?
His voice was soft and tinged with bewilderment. His fingertips pressed lightly against Toke's chest, attempting to create some distance between their bodies. But the next second, Toke tightened his arm, pinning him ruthlessly against the bed. The force was absolute and unyielding, utterly crushing any attempt at resistance from Penglaiwen.
Don't move.
Those two simple words stripped away the earlier gentleness. His low, heavy voice, with intense pressure, struck right beside Penglaiwen's ear, causing him to freeze, too terrified to move even an inch. For so long, everyone had seen only Toke's cheerful, open nature. Only Toke himself knew that his obsession with Penglaiwen had long since seeped into his very bones. He had watched Penglaiwen, watched him bury every emotion deep within, watched him maintain a gentle yet distant demeanor with everyone, always keeping a measured boundary. That unreachable gentleness had tormented him through countless days and nights until he met him. He had made every move deliberately, treading with extreme caution, not out of gentlemanly restraint, but as a part of long-planned scheme to claim him.
Penglaiwen, did you think my feelings were just about having you in my life?
Toke lowered his head, pressing his forehead against Penglaiwen's temple. His breath was scorching, enveloping him completely.
I've held back long enough.
Penglaiwen's pupils trembled slightly, as a wave of sheer panic surged within him. The Toke he knew was always gentle and considerate, always accommodating and tolerant. The forceful, obsessive side Toke showed now was a side he had never seen before. He hurriedly turned his head away to avoid Toke's gaze and pleaded softly.
Let me go, please.
No.
Toke's refusal was absolute. His fingertips grazed the reddened tip of the other's ear with a firm, insistent touch.
In the past, I was afraid of scaring you away, so I held myself back, giving you space, only staying by your side, careful not to overstep. But now that you've admitted you like me, don't even think about backing away, and don't even think about spending the rest of your life alone.
He lifted his hand to grip Penglaiwen's chin, forcing him to look up. His eyes burned with an obsessive, possessive determination.
Your tenderness, your silence, every feeling that you carry. Starting now, they can only belong to me.
Penglaiwen's eyes turned red and unshed tears swelled up, though he stubbornly refused to let them fall. He had always been gentle and restrained, never before subjected to such forceful control. The unfamiliar pressure left him flustered, a mix of heartache and fear rising within him. He yearned for Toke's gentleness, yet he also feared this sudden unbridled obsession.
I wasn't trying to back away.
His voice choked, trembling slightly.
Then be a good boy and listen.
Toke's grip eased just a fraction, though he still held him firmly, his tone commanding.
Penglaiwen, now that you've met me, you're never getting away from me.
Outside the window, the autumn rain loomed and twilight deepened into night, yet the warm golden light inside the room remained gentle. He had waited and hoped for so long, having finally coaxed the reserved, solitary Penglaiwen to open his heart. He would never give him a chance to leave. The gentleness was real, the special affection was real, and the possessiveness was real too. Penglaiwen gazed into those burning eyes, all his resistance gradually dissolved. The fear deep within him mingled with an intense, unique stirring of the heart, ultimately melting into a silent surrender as he slowly sank into the other's embrace, tears spilling over.